you're at.
Going somewhere?
Oh, I'm sorry, old hag.
You are lucky my husband is not here. He would shoot you. Now get out!
Hi.
Hey, Lynn. Wow. And I was worried about a phone call being the scary thing here.
Billy, well, you can see me without the box, correct?
Yeah,
I don't have a little black box.
You are in full screen. I see a cute dog in the background.
Oh yeah, there she is. Oh, good. Did you see the whole kit and caboodle, as they say?
I could. Very nice setup. How are you?
I'm very good. Thank you. I've been trying to get this. The technology is insane, but other than that, I'm good.
Last time we talked was for Dreamcatcher. I remember like quarantine started. You were doing I think you were gardening. You're focusing on a garden. Is that right?
Yeah. Yep. You're right. Oh my God. Yep. Absolutely.
How have things been since for you? I mean,
very sad. I mean, life is good. Thank God I'm healthy, and it just makes me so sad. The whole thing has just been very difficult. That this movie, we got it done before all this was a real, and then it's coming out now is kind of a treasure, because it makes me feel normal, more like excited about something. And
right.
I just wish it could be even though it's opening in theaters, it's not going to have the splash that Timothy would be able to get from this movie between me and Tobin. I think we could have, had a big, it's kind of a red carpet event almost.
I mean, I've seen you on red carpets for Tim, because Timothy's a friend of mine too. So we've discussed this before, me and you, about working for him. You worked with him on The Final Wish too. It was I think his last horror that he did too.
Right.
What was it like kind of returning with him? Obviously he's a friend of yours and someone I know very well too. What was it like kind of to reunite with him again after working with him, like less than 2 years ago, I think?
It was great. I mean, I have great regard for him. He's a very interesting man. Definitely not your typical anything.
Totally.
Totally. And in every way. And, going back to the way we first met, which I think I told you that whole story of, he kind of hunted me down for The Final Wish. And
That's right. I remember that.
Down. And he was going to come meet us at Sony to sort of try to convince us to do this movie. And I'll never forget it. I was looking at my watch and I see Timothy on Wilshire Boulevard, crisscrossing Wilshire Boulevard, running to not be late for the meeting. And long story short, he convinced us at that time, to do the film. And he's a very unique guy and a very, very dedicated filmmaker. So that's a thrill to work with, somebody that understands and loves image as much as he does. And his relationship with Pablo is just wonderful. I adore Pablo. I just think he's one of the most talented DPs. Him and John Leonetti, and I can give you a handful.
Oh yeah, that's Timmy's team. I mean, he uses the same people kind of a lot of his project. That's his crew, and he's very loyal to them too. So
totally. And they have a shorthand, which is very useful in terms of creating moments. I mean, Pablo kind of knows what Timothy's thinking before Timothy is thinking it, and vice versa. And great respect for each other, and real regard to listening, being good listeners to each other. And you could see him get into it a little bit some of the time.
Yeah, Timothy's pretty direct. He's one of those, you tell you what he's thinking, and not be afraid to do so.
Totally. So it made this a very wonderful project, and I love where the character, the suggestions that I was able to find in the storyline, and that they listened to. It's also part of the love of acting for me is being a participant, which is very different than television, where you are not allowed to be a participant because you are the writer. It's a writer's medium, where film is really more the actors and directors medium, and the writer, you kind of move things around to make the scene work, or it's wonderful to be able to have an idea and have it heard and be allowed to execute that. Right. And I've gained a lot of courage and confidence in myself in terms of the storytelling and the character creation. So, and Timothy's a great collaborator in that way. And he'll spar. I mean, I love it because it's not just like, okay, that's fine. It's like you talk about what it might, and that'll lead to somewhere else, maybe even better.
Yeah.
So I really appreciate him very, very much.
Was this the first time you worked with Tobin? Because I mean, it was cool seeing you just guys visually on screen together. But I mean, you technically didn't share too many screen times in the movie. But what was it like just kind of being? I mean, obviously you guys kind of represent certain franchises. You with Insidious in a way, and he's synonymous with Saw. But obviously both of you done so much other work. But what was it kind of like working with him and just collaborate on this project? Because it was really cool to visually see you guys together.
I was really excited to. It was Gina Rugolo, my manager. It was actually her idea,
Mm,
and I thought, oh my God, wouldn't that be awesome that the fan base, because we have different fan bases,
right.
because the movies are are scary in whole different kinds of ways, and attract a different audience, I believe. You know, it doesn't mean the same person wouldn't like both movies, but in general, it's a different story. It's a different kind of horror, really.
Right.
Um, and so I really didn't know, what to expect or anything. And we only have those handful of scenes together. So I think we only worked together a couple of days, actually. But it was very kind of almost a little juicy. It was like, I'm so glad to meet you. It had great respect and appreciation of each other. And we didn't chit chat. We were really in that relationship. And I respected his space. He respected mine in terms of what we were doing as characters. And yet the affection between us was very strong, and I think shows and also then fills in the blanks about who Edith really is and what they have together. I mean, this is a really loving relationship for many years,
Mm-hmm.
and that makes the tragedy of it all worse.
He repeats his character keeps on repeating, that's my world, constantly. So it really came through. But it was awesome seeing you guys together. Even it's one of those like all-star moments in a sense, like the Avengers of the horror universe.
Well, I hope so, and I hope it gains audience on that level too, where people will go, oh my God, they're in this movie together, kind of thing. And he's wonderful in the film. I mean, he really has some fantastic moments, I thought. So it's all good.
Before I let you go, we're short on time, I know, with everything.
I'm sorry, because I couldn't get them. Can I say a bad word? No, I better
yes,
not.
Go ahead.
We couldn't get this fucking thing working.
There you go.
Okay. Hi.
The few times I've spoke to you either on the red carpet at Timothy's premieres or last time on the phone, I forgot to ask you about Insidious. Any chance of coming back doing a fourth one, or is there ever?
Yes, it would be fifth. We've done four.
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah. I never thought there'd be a fourth one. So I have no real idea, because everything has come to a standstill right now. James is very busy. He's doing Aquaman 2. Mm-hmm. Lee is, I don't know what Lee's doing. I guess he's doing a whole bunch of stuff with Blumhouse as usual. And he doesn't really stay in touch. Lee's a tough one. James stays in touch. James and I, every once in a while, he'll get a text to see how I'm doing. He really is that guy. But Lee is off, flying. Lee is off flying away somewhere, and hibernating somewhere. He's a very very volatile, beautiful guy who's kind of like a butterfly. I mean, you can't really catch Lee.
And well said.
Yes, and I adore him. I just think I think these both guys are both real geniuses, using that word literally, in what they do. So I don't know. I mean, I don't think we would want another writer. Another director would be probably okay. We worked with Adam, Robitel, who did a lovely job on the film he directed, but we would still need Lee to write it. And I don't know if he wants to write another one.
Interesting.
So we'll see. I'm in the further now.
Yeah, I mean, I hope to see you. I mean, I always kind of like find you synonymous with that franchise. Just kind of like do what Patrick Wilson and Vera Farmiga with the Conjuring.
The Conjuring.
Come together.
I think James did have an idea at one point about the family grown up. Josh now is grown up, which Josh really is grown up as an actor. I mean, that idea is a wonderful idea, but again, it has to be executed, and so I could always hope it would be fun to revisit those people again and that world.
You're always part of that family, no matter what, so.
I hope so. Listen, families are small to begin with, even the big ones, you know, they get very like a little ball and they bounce around a lot. You know, it's fun it's fun to be in the middle with everybody. So I hope it happens again. It would be
Well,
great.
you certainly are. Well, I'm so happy to see you, get to see you face to face finally again after last time. Good to see that you're doing well. How's the garden coming along? You're done with that?
Yeah, well, now it was so hot. Oh my God, things just burned up. I mean, I have trees that have, we're in the middle of something. I don't know what it is yet, and not a
It is
good
like
thing.
a horror movie that you can't even write, you know?
Really. No, we're deep into hell.
Literally.
And let's hope that, you know, it cools. Things have to change. I'm very, very, very sad by the world right now, and hope for the better things. I love what I get to do. It even puts a burden on the things I've been able to work on. It's so difficult with the paraphernalia, and did you one thing with the hands, and oh my God, he didn't put his mask on, and oh my God, she's on top of me, get away, you don't put your mask.
Now these subconscious and like things that you should be directed by, that's not natural in so many ways, you know, the precaution.
Exactly. Yeah, so we'll see how things unfold. I'm glad to be healthy. I'm glad you're healthy. I send you love and joy to yourself too.
I'm so happy to see you and glad to connect again. And I got to meet your pup and see your pup, so that's awesome.
Yeah, she's under the pinball machine now. But it's good. Thank you again for everything.
Absolutely, Lynn. Hope to get in touch again soon. So love the movie. Glad to see you and Timothy reunited again. And as always, can't wait to connect again.
Great. Me too. Thank you so much.
Bye-bye, Lynn.
What do you want?
Vengeance.